David Parker Ray is an infamous name that sends shivers down the spine of those who know the tale connected to it. This individual, known as the Toy Box Killer, is ranked as one of the most brutal criminals in American history. The chilling atrocities he committed throughout the mid to late 1990s have left a disturbing mark on criminal history. Born in 1939 in the isolated corners of New Mexico, Ray did not come from a favorable background. His home life was fractured, which in turn fostered a disturbed childhood. These bleak circumstances, which no child should ever have to endure, are speculated to have some role in nurturing the unsettling persona that he grew up to manifest. However, regardless of these circumstances, no past trauma can serve as an acceptable explanation or excuse for the monstrous deeds he committed later in his life. David Parker Ray's toy box did not contain the innocent playthings one might expect. It was an incredibly sinister term used to refer to Ray's modified mobile trailer, armed with an estimated $100,000 worth of cruel, perverted contraptions. This torture chamber was the manifestation of Ray's darkest desires. This torture chamber was kitted out with the most unthinkable implements of pain, such as whips, chains, surgical instruments, and a variety of pulleys specifically designed to inflict physical and psychological torment. This man's decades-long crime spree cast a dark shadow over the latter half of the 20th century. Eerily, his coercive acts of depravity didn't happen in isolation. He was often aided by his accomplices, who at times shockingly included his girlfriend and his daughter. Their victims would be trapped and subjected to a horrifying roller coaster of fear, pain, and shocking abuses within the confines of Ray's macabre setting. Apart from physical torture, Ray was as much a sadist psychologically as he was physically. One aspect that stood out about his crimes was a tape recording he used to play for his victims, introducing them to the cruel reality of their impending torture. This form of psychological torment left his victims in a state of heightened terror, exacerbating their ordeal extensively. But even the worst nightmares have an end. The curtain closed on Ray's reign of terror when Cynthia Vigil, one of his victims, pulled off a daring escape. This woman, in her desperate pursuit of freedom, ran, bearing chains and unclothed, banking on sheer luck and will to survive. She crossed paths with a local homeowner who called law enforcement. What followed was an intense investigation of Ray's property, leading to his eventual incarceration. Ray faced his day of reckoning on September 11, 2001. The severity of his crimes reflected in his sentence. The court handed down an effective sentence of 224 years for numerous charges. However, he only served a little over a year of his sentence before he died of a heart attack in 2002. The story of David Parker Ray, the Toy Box Killer, is not just a ghastly crime tale. It underlines the reality of the kind of evil that can reside in a person. It continues to stand as a profound example of cruelty that sends shockwaves through anyone who learns about it. Even decades later, the unthinkable ordeal faced by his victims gives us chilling real-life stories of survival against the direst odds.